I never thought I'd find myself in the depths of the dark web, but my insatiable curiosity led me to places I could never have imagined. The internet had always fascinated me, but it was the enigmatic world of the dark web that truly intrigued me. Little did I know that my journey into this digital abyss would become a chilling odyssey I could never forget. As I ventured into the dark web with a secure VPN and a specialized browser, I was both exhilarated and apprehensive. The dark web was a shadowy realm where anonymity was king, and everything had a price. It didn't take long for me to stumble upon a post that sent shivers down my spine. The title was as sinister as they come: The Midnight Abductor. The description promised a glimpse into the twisted world of a kidnapper who operated in the darkest corners of the dark web. The instructions were both haunting and unsettling. The post detailed the methods and motives of this anonymous kidnapper, the victim's cries for help, and the eerie conversations that took place on the dark web. I was drawn to the chilling testimonies of those who had encountered this faceless abductor, and I decided to delve deeper into the macabre world of the Midnight Abductor. The more I uncovered, the more it became clear that the Midnight Abductor was no ordinary criminal. This kidnapper was a master of deception, using the dark web to select victims and plan abductions. They had a sadistic predilection for broadcasting their actions, as if it were a grotesque form of entertainment for a twisted audience. As I delved further into the dark web, I came across a live stream that was chilling in its audacity. It was the Midnight Abductor's lair, a dimly lit, decrepit room filled with horrifying tools and restraints. In the center, a helpless victim was bound and gagged, tears streaming down their face. The chat room was filled with anonymous users, each one urging the abductor to carry out their gruesome plans. The victim's eyes pleaded for mercy, but they were met with cold indifference. The chat room was a cesspool of sadistic enjoyment, a place where the darkest corners of humanity reveled in the suffering of another. I couldn't look away, my heart pounding as I watched the horrifying events unfold. The Midnight Abductor reveled in their twisted power, taunting their victim and describing the torment they would endure. The helplessness of the victim and the depravity of the abductor sent a shiver down my spine. I knew I had to do something. I contacted the authorities and reported what I had witnessed, hoping that they could trace the abductor's digital footprint and rescue the victim. But as the minutes passed, I realized that the dark web was a labyrinth of anonymity, and the chances of finding the victim in time were slim. In the chat room, the abductor continued their sinister performance, each moment more disturbing than the last. The victim's sobs and pleas for mercy echoed in the dimly lit room, their despair palpable even through the screen. It was a waking nightmare, and I was a helpless spectator. Hours turned into days as I continued to monitor the dark web, desperately hoping for a breakthrough. But the abductor seemed one step ahead, covering their tracks and leaving little trace for the authorities to follow. The victim's fate hung in the balance, and I felt a growing sense of despair. As the days turned into weeks, the trail went cold. The Midnight Abductor had vanished from the dark web, leaving no trace of their whereabouts. The victim's fate remained uncertain, and the horror of what I had witnessed continued to haunt me. I had ventured into the dark web with the hope of uncovering its secrets, but I had encountered a darkness that I could never have prepared for. The Midnight Abductor was a faceless monster, a symbol of the darkest depths of the digital abyss. I had seen the true horrors that lurked in the shadows of the internet, and it was a nightmare that would forever haunt my conscience. The dark web had always held a sinister allure, a digital realm where the boundaries of legality blurred and anonymity was the name of the game. It was a place I'd heard whispers about, a hidden underbelly of the internet where anything could be found for the right price. One day, curiosity got the better of me, and I decided to explore the dark web. Armed with a secure VPN and a specialized browser, I ventured into the abyss. The journey was both thrilling and unnerving as I navigated through encrypted links and obscure forums. I stumbled upon a post titled, "The Cryptic Bazaar," that piqued my interest. The description promised access to a marketplace of the forbidden, a digital emporium where one could buy anything from exotic pets to rare artifacts. It was an invitation to a world where the usual rules and morals of the surface web seemed to hold no sway. The instructions for accessing this shadowy marketplace were cryptic and unsettling. I was to create a secure, anonymous account, use a unique cryptocurrency, and follow specific protocols to protect my identity. The more I read, the more I felt a growing sense of unease. The marketplace was a labyrinth of illicit offerings. Contraband technology, stolen data, and even dangerous weapons were just a few clicks away. The reviews of buyers and sellers were as chilling as they were informative, each transaction shrouded in secrecy. I soon discovered a corner of the cryptic bazaar that offered various substances, some legal and others far from it. It was a digital drug den, a place where one could purchase anything from prescription medications to potent narcotics. The temptation was palpable, but I couldn't ignore the risks. The idea of acquiring something forbidden tugged at my curiosity. I debated for days, torn between the allure of the unknown and the potential consequences. I knew that venturing further into the dark web was dangerous, but the siren's call was too enticing. Finally, in a moment of weakness, I decided to make a purchase. I used the unique cryptocurrency and placed an order for a substance I'd never heard of before. The transaction was swift and discreet, and I anxiously waited for the package to arrive. Weeks passed, and the package finally arrived in an unmarked box. I was filled with a sense of dread as I opened it, revealing a small vial containing the mysterious substance. I couldn't ignore the sinking feeling in my gut, the realization that I had crossed a line that could lead to unforeseen consequences. As I stared at the vial, the consequences of my decision weighed heavily on my conscience. I had ventured too far into the digital abyss, and I knew that the dark web had a way of exacting its price. The allure of the forbidden had ensnared me, and I was left to grapple with the choices I had made. The dark web was a place where curiosity could lead to danger, where the pursuit of the forbidden came at a price too steep to bear. My journey into the cryptic bazaar had shown me the dark underbelly of the digital world, a place where anonymity was both a shield and a weapon, and where the line between the legal and the illicit was dangerously thin. As I closed the chapter on my dark web exploration, I couldn't help but wonder how many others had fallen into its web of intrigue, and how many had paid the price for their curiosity. The digital abyss held its secrets close, and it was a realm where the consequences of one's actions could be as mysterious and unforgiving as the web itself. The dark web, a digital abyss where anonymity reigns and the shadows hide the darkest of secrets. It's a place where the surface web's rules no longer apply, and the very air is thick with mystery. My journey into this hidden realm began with a mixture of curiosity and trepidation, a journey that would lead me down a digital rabbit hole from which I could never truly escape. With a secure VPN and a specialized browser, I took my first steps into the enigmatic world of the dark web. The experience was like entering a parallel universe, a place where encryption and secrecy were the currency of the realm. As I navigated through encrypted links and obscure forms, I was acutely aware of the digital mask that veiled my identity. One day I stumbled upon a post that promised to unlock the forbidden archives. The description was cryptic and beguiling, offering access to a digital repository of knowledge that was hidden from the world. The testimonial spoke of hidden truths, conspiracy theories, and classified information that could never see the light of day. The instructions for gaining access were both enigmatic and unsettling. I was to create an encrypted email account, send a message to a specific address, and await further instructions. The process felt like something out of a spy novel, and the growing sense of unease only fueled my curiosity. Days turned into weeks, and finally, a response arrived in my encrypted inbox. The message contained a single link, an invitation to the Forbidden Archives. With trepidation and anticipation, I clicked on it, and a world of forbidden knowledge unveiled itself before me. The Forbidden Archives were a digital labyrinth of secrets, a place where the line between truth and fiction blurred. The topics ranged from government conspiracies and suppressed scientific discoveries to tales of extraterrestrial encounters and classified military operations. The more I delved into its depths, the more I felt like a digital detective, piecing together a puzzle that could shatter the foundations of reality. One particular section within the Forbidden Archives intrigued me: the Dark Enigma Collection. It was a repository of stories, first-hand accounts, and unexplained phenomena that defied conventional understanding. These tales spoke of encounters with mysterious entities, unexplainable events, and eerie dimensions that lay just beyond the reach of human perception. One story in particular drew me in: a chilling account of a shadowy figure known as the Digital Harbinger. It was described as an entity that could traverse the digital and physical realms, a harbinger of doom that lurked in the darkest corners of the dark web. The narrative was accompanied by unsettling images and testimonials that sent shivers down my spine. The more I read, the more I began to question the line between reality and fiction. Had I ventured too far into the dark web, a place where paranoia and conspiracy reigned supreme? Or was there a deeper truth hidden within these tales of the unknown? As the days turned into weeks, I became increasingly obsessed with the Digital Harbinger. I scoured forums and discussion boards, searching for any information that could shed light on this enigmatic entity. But the more I delved, the more elusive the answers became, and the darker the questions that arose. The line between the digital and the real had become blurred, and the Forbidden Archives had ensnared me in a web of intrigue. I couldn't help but wonder if I had become a character in one of the dark web's many mysteries, a participant in a digital drama that played out on the fringes of the internet. As I closed the browser and disconnected from the dark web, I couldn't shake the feeling that I had glimpsed a shadowy underbelly of the digital world. The Forbidden Archives had revealed secrets and mysteries that defied explanation, and I was left with a sense of unease that would linger long after my journey into the dark web had ended.